You are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station. Check out our website at www.worshipradio.faith or follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Worship Radio INT. This is the future.
This is Al with Coaching by Al. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. Your place to find out how to do what you do, how to use what you have, and go where you want to go with it, what you already have. This is what we do. This is what we talk about, and we are so happy to have you here with us. Well, when I say us, I really mean me. I'm happy to have you here with me, and I definitely want to thank our sponsor today, Holy Cloud. Holy Cloud. You are talking about the premier place to get your website, to get your domain, to get your SSL certificate, unlimited business emails. That's who is sponsoring us today. We thank you so much, Holy Cloud. Go to holycloud.us to find out more information. Go to worshipradio.faith to find out more information. You are in the place. It's a one-stop shop right here. And I also want to thank our sponsors for today. Now, listen, this is what we're going to talk about. Goal setting. I mean, I know you hear about that a lot, but we want to talk about how to get down into the nitty gritty of it, some reasons why you want to do this thing. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Go ahead and like this page, share it, share this post, like this post. Make sure that you tag somebody else in it when you do so to make sure that they're watching it. We're going to go through this information, and I want you to join in, as in with every week. I want you to leave comments. I want you to make comments. I want you to add to the discussion. I don't want to just be a talking head sitting here trying to give you information. I want to hear your responses. I want to find out what's going on in your life so that we can talk about how to work it out better. Okay, so again, getting into dealing with goal setting. How does it really work? What does it really take? What's really needed? That's what I'm going for. So I know many of you have been wondering, like, okay, Al, what's been going on? Last week I saw a program that you did before, and then I saw, well, just dealing with some health issues, not in a horrible way. Just got a little bug from our daughter, who got a bug from somebody at school, who probably got a bug from, those kind of things. But sometimes after a while, it just gets a little overwhelming, and we just needed a break. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. But I'm back here, and we are live. This is live. This is me. This is me here today. So get ready, because I think we're going to have a good time. I want to find out who's on with us today, so give me just a moment to pull up the feed, and I want to see for myself who's joining us. I also want to say hello to my wife and to my daughter who's at home. I know you are always watching, and I do thank you so much. It's so wonderful to have support of your family, isn't it? But here's the thing, because I don't want to make it sound one-sided. Even if you don't have the support that you think you need, that does not give you permission to stop. I want to say that again. Even if you think you don't have the support you need from your close family or friends, that does not give you permission to stop. If you have something in your heart that you are supposed to accomplish, you need to be able to accomplish it regardless. I know that's a whole lot easier to hear than it is to say, but it's possible. It is possible, and you know it. So let's stop making all of the excuses that we make. It's so easy to make excuses. Just go ahead, get past it for just a moment, and let's make some things happen. So now I can actually see who's on. I see my sister, Kimberly Beavers, on, and a belated happy birthday to you. Her birthday was on November the 2nd. She and her husband, my brother, because she married him, I don't want nobody to think nothing crazy going on. Brother Darrell Beavers and Kim Beavers and the whole squad, love to all of y'all. They are down south right now. My nephew, Dante Hollis, check him out. One of the absolute premier, not just rising star, but already is a star in college football. They're down there supporting him for the final game, I think, for this season. The dude is just incredible. He's a giant, and he's incredibly powerful. I would not want to get in his way if he's running toward me, but he's also an incredible speaker. And I just want to say, man, I love you, Neff. So sorry I couldn't be there this time, but we love you, and we are going to see you soon. And also to his younger brother, DJ Darrell Jr., happy birthday, man. Love you so much, and can't wait to see you when you get back, all right? Now, let's see who else we have on here. We've got, oh, there's my brother Durrell. And then there's my wife, Tarsha, Lady Tarsha. And you see this cup right here? Do y'all like this cup? Can you see it? It says Coaching by Al. She designed this, she made it, and this is what she does. She does printing. Her business is called First Impression, and she does an incredible job with t-shirts. You've seen some of the t-shirts I had on, some of the t-shirts she had on. You've seen t-shirts probably around the city that were designed by her or made by her, and she is incredible. So if you need a t-shirt for anything, if you need this kind of printing, if you need whatever you need, she can do it. She can do it. She can do it. She's incredible. Event planning, decorations. Girl bad. That's my boo. Love you, baby. Okay, let me get into this because you're still like, okay, Al, what are you going to talk about today? We are going to talk about goal setting. What's so important about goal setting? There's a couple things I want to bring to your attention before we really dive into this. What's the importance of goal setting? Why is it so necessary to use goals? People talk about it a lot, but the gist of it is this. Anything that you do, believe it or not, in your life has been planned. Wait a minute, what do you mean planned? Are you trying to tell me about fate? Like, my life is not in my own control. No, what I'm saying is everything that has happened in your life, for the most part, has been planned. Planned. Okay, what do you mean planned? Outside of things that happen as a result of a physical sickness that you had nothing to do with, or maybe a death in the family or something like that, maybe a job change that you did not expect as a result of being laid off or something like that. The regular things that happen in your life from day to day, those are all planned by guess who? Yep, you said it. You know it. You. I don't understand. Yeah, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Everything we do happens as a result of a plan. And you say, well, I didn't plan this or I didn't plan that. Well, if you didn't plan something, then what happened was the result of you not planning, but it was also still your plan because you didn't do it. You've heard you've heard the saying over and over again. How many times have you heard failure to plan is a plan to fail? I hate using things that just sound so cliche, but let's look at the truth of it. Somebody came up with some truth in it, and they said, wait a minute now, let's take a look at this. If I don't plan, then I'm planning something anyway. It's the same way as if you don't decide where you're going, or matter of fact, let me use this one because this one is more important to me. If you do not learn how to plan your time, somebody else will plan it for you. Do you get it now? If I don't decide what I want to do in my day, what's going to happen? This person's going to call, that person's going to call, that person's going to call, and this person over here is going to call, and they're all going to ask me to do something. And because I did not have a plan set for me, now I'm succumbing to their plans based on my own free will. Nobody's making me do it, but just so that I can say I'm doing something or trying to be kind or nice, I end up doing it. And now look at me. My time is spent. Well, it wasn't that you planned for your time to be spent, but you did not plan for your time to not be spent. Is that good English? Did I say that right? That's what I mean, though. And I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So that's why it's so important for us to talk about goal setting. So here's the thing. Make sure, again, that you like the page. Make sure you like the post. Make sure you share this post so that other people can see it. I'm not going to do anything to embarrass you, I promise. You ready? Let's get into it. I am going to start with, matter of fact, instead of doing it the way I normally do it, by giving you this whole backdrop and all of this, how about we get right into some tips that are going to help you? Is that okay? You don't mind if I go right to the tips, do you? Okay, here we go. Here's tip number 1. Whatever you tried to plan in the past that did not work out the way you wanted it to, let it go. I hear something. Let me make sure all of my volumes are down here. Did you hear what I said, though? Whatever you planned in the past, if it did not work out the way you intended for it to work out, if it did not go the way you had hoped, Let it go. Is that important? Yes, it's important because you can get so caught up in the fear of failure as a result of what did not work before that you will be shell shocked or you will be trigger shy about moving forward about this next episode or this next adventure, this next goal, because you're afraid, well, what if it happens to turn out that, just like the last one didn't work out, this one doesn't either. That's how we find ourselves in a place of not having enough expectation. Our expectation minimizes and minimizes and minimizes because of our past. And we find ourselves living in the past and we never get to where we want to go. Do you see where I'm going with this? So that's the first thing you need to do. You need to cut, let loose, let go of whatever did not work before. It's in the past. You can't change it. Okay? You can't change it. One day we are going to talk about how to get free from the connection of the past. Now that's a whole nother issue. And I know some of you are already hearing and saying, oh yeah, we need to talk about that because I got a big issue with that. Yeah, we need to talk about that. So that's number one. Here is number two. Are you ready for number two? Here's number two. And I hope you're listening. I hope you're listening. I hope you're taking notes on this. Number two is set SMART goals. SMART goals. Now, some of you have heard this before because I've shared it before, and I want you to really hear what I'm talking about when I say you have to set SMART goals. Okay. First of all, let me give you my definition of a SMART goal. A SMART goal is something that's going to actually be attainable, something that is not so unrealistic that there's no way you could ever possibly try to accomplish it. That's number one. Okay. You gotta set a goal that you can actually reach. Now, after we get done with my little list here, then I'm gonna go back and we're gonna talk about how do we actually implement this into our life. Okay, so that's going to be the next part. Make it a SMART goal. Make sure that it's something that first of all, make sure it's something that you want. How about that? Woo! Okay, let me not get ahead of myself. Here's number three. You need to have a support team. Don't try to do everything on your own. If you are trying to accomplish everything on your own because you say, well, I can't trust anybody, or I don't want to lean on anybody, or maybe you're saying subconsciously, I don't want to bother anybody, or maybe you're saying, I don't really want to tell anybody, so that way, if it doesn't work out, then I'm not embarrassed because I told somebody that this is what I want, and now I don't have it, and now they're looking at me and they're saying, you didn't accomplish what you set out to do. There's so many reasons. But don't let that stop you from having a support team. Everybody has a support team, from the president on down to whatever you consider to be the lowest position. And there really is no low positions. Personally, I think it's a flip. The positions down here that we look at and we kind of scoff at and turn our nose up at, those are really the positions that mean something, to be honest. That's what I think. That's what I think. Okay, now, make sure you have a support team. Who is your support team? Your support team doesn't have to be, oh my goodness, I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again and I'm going to say it again. And I hope you listen clearly. Your support team does not have to be your immediate family. Your support team does not have to be the people in your household. Your support team does not have to be some church folk. Your support team does not have to be typical. Did I make myself clear on that? Does that mean that if I don't have my support team be my spouse, then I'm, lying to them and I'm not sharing everything with them and I'm not being faithful and committed and loyal and fidelity issues, all that? No. What you need to do when you are working on particular goals in your life is set yourself in the midst of people that can help you get that done. Is that okay to say? So let's say that you want to, let's say you want to run a marathon. Okay, let's just say that's a goal of yours. You want to get started on running a marathon. Now, who do you surround yourself with? Maybe your spouse is not into exercise and running. Maybe your spouse says, I don't mind running, but I'm not into trying to run 26 miles. That's just crazy. That's just foolish. I don't understand why anybody would want to do that. Okay, no sweat. That doesn't mean I'm going to get mad. What it means is you are not the type of person right now for this particular goal. Let me say that again. For this particular goal that I need to have on my team. Okay? I need people who are going to help me achieve the goal. As long as you are willing to be okay with the fact that this is something that I want to achieve, and even if it does not benefit you particularly in any kind of way, you're still saying, okay, hey, you know what? Go ahead, do you, boo. If you're willing to do that, guess what? That's still support in some way, shape, or form. It does not necessarily mean that you have to be in the grind. So who do you have to surround yourself with? You've got to surround yourself with a coach. You've got to surround yourself with somebody who's going to look after your health. You've got to surround yourself with somebody who's going to make sure that you have the resources that you need. Maybe you need the right shoes. You need the right apparel. Maybe you need to make sure that this person has the right type of water. Whatever. You want to make sure that you have the people in your corner that are going to help you. Perhaps even somebody who's done it before, so that they can walk you mentally through what it's going to take to be able to run this length. You understand what I'm saying? So having your support team does not necessarily have to be the people in your house. I'm going to say it again, for that particular goal. Do not take this as an opportunity to shut out your spouse and say they don't want to have anything to do with my life because they're not interested. No, they're just not interested in that particular one goal, perhaps. That's all it is. Don't make it bigger than it is. When you are complete with that goal, am I talking loud? Does it sound like I'm talking loud? Am I fussing? Does it sound like I'm fussing? When you are complete with that goal, then come back together and say, okay, now I have completed that goal. Thank you so much for allowing me to do what I do on that. Now let's get back to working on our goals together. That's what you do if you're married. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, now don't try to leave out of here and say that Al said you can't. I don't need you in my life. I did not say that. Can you believe people try this? I did not say that. What did Al say? Al said, do not worry about the person that is in your household or your closest people to you being a part of this particular goal. That's what I said. I want to make sure everybody heard me. You heard me, right? You heard me. Don't play. Okay, now let's move on a little bit further because I got some more. After you have a support team, the next part that you want to do is you gotta write them down. Somebody say write them down. Write down the goal. That's right. You need to write down the goal. Why do you need to write down the goal? Because you need to be able to transfer it. I talked about this a few weeks ago. You need to be able to transfer it from one realm into another realm. Let's put a dividing line right here. Let's call this the spiritual realm. Let's call this the natural realm. You want to be able to transfer it from the spiritual to the natural. And no, you do not need transcendental meditation. No, you do not need crystals and potions and incense. No, you don't need any of that. No, you don't need to draw some triangles on the floor and have candles setting around. No, you know what you need to do to transfer it from one place to another place? Write it down. Write it down. You writing it down, I'm not talking about typing, I'm talking about writing. You writing it down is a transfer from you from this place to that place, from the spiritual to the natural. You writing it down so that you can actually see what it is. Many times the reason why we can't move forward is because we are so abstract. Oh my gosh, we are so abstract. We are so abstract and trying to get down to the nitty gritty of what we want. We can't even get there. What do you want? I want more money. That is abstract. Somebody will say, well, it doesn't sound abstract to me. It is abstract. If I take out a piece of a penny and I hand it to you and I say, there you go, you got more money. Have I lied? No, I have not lied. I gave you exactly what you asked for because that was what you asked for. So here's the thing. Now then, how much do you want? I bet the second time I said, you can give me a dollar amount, can't you? I bet you can give me a dollar amount now. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. You need to be able to give an exact dollar amount of how much more money you want. That's making it from abstract to definite. You need to be definite, clear and definite in what you want. All right. And you need to write it down. Here's the difference between writing it down and just trying to hold it up here. I heard this and this was beautiful. This is something that I believe it was Napoleon. Just by the way, if you see me looking over here all the time, there's a beautiful window right here. And for some reason, for me, it just gives me a lot of inspiration. I think I like looking at the changing colors of the leaves right now. And there's a big window and I see cars passing by. But I'm trying to stay focused on you. But very nice, beautiful window. I love looking out of it. But here's the thing. Dealing with being direct, dealing with being specific, dealing with being very focused, laser focused on the goal. This is why you write it down. Let's say you have a plank of wood. Napoleon Hill said this. You have a plank of wood. Everybody has seen a plank of wood. You lay it out in the sun. You could lay it out in the sun for 10, 15, 20 years. The weather might beat up on it a little bit. Rain, snow, sleet, hail, sunshine. It won't really do a whole lot to it. It's a plank of wood. Big deal. If you take a magnifying glass and you hold it over that same piece of wood, the sun now becomes filtered, concentrated, and definite. Intentional, in other words, and it beams down on that piece of wood and it'll burn a hole directly through it. Whereas if you lay it out just without the magnifying glass, the sun will beam down on it all day long and do nothing. It might change the color of it a little bit. It may get a little suntan or whatever, but the actual magnifying glass concentrates that sunlight and turns it into a power source that can burn a hole through that wood. Do you understand what I'm saying now? That's the difference between trying to hold on to what you want in your head versus writing it down. When you write down what you want to have happen with your own hand, a pen or a pencil, it's even better than typing. But when you write it down, you are seeing very clearly what was in your mind explained in a way that you can read it back to yourself. That's important. That's powerful. And when you read it back or you look at it and you say, wait a minute, that's not exactly what I want. Now, there you go. Bing, 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 bing. That's the power. Now you can tweak it. Now you can shape it and mold it to get it exactly how you want it to be. That's powerful. That's what you want for your life. You want to be able to get the abstract ideas into centralized, focused, quantified, specific, intentional ideas. Something that you can read and now you can, that sounds like a scripture. I think I could use a scripture right there. Hey, where's the organ? Now we got something. Now, what did you say, Habakkuk? Somebody says Habakkuk, whatever you want to call him. Habakkuk, what did you say? Write the vision. Make it plain. Come on, somebody, sing it if you know it. That he may run that readeth it. That doesn't necessarily just have to be somebody else looking at your vision so they can help you do what you want to do. I know that's how we always preach it, but he might be you. Okay, ladies, that also goes for you too. The he might be you, so that he may run that readeth it. You might need to be the person that runs first. You might be running the first leg of the race. And then you got a baton that you can hand off to somebody and they can look at it and say, oh, okay, I'm supposed to run this far around. Now you got something, but you got to have it written down. Nobody else can run if it's not written, but you can't either. So you need to be prepared to know exactly what it is that you're going after. So then, here it is. Well, let me finish the list first, and then we'll come back and we will talk about the how-tos. Okay, how to get even more deep into it. Here's the next one. Make sure, this is big. Are you ready for this? Make sure that it's your own goal. Woo! Fire. Uh, Fire. This is important. So many times I have seen people that are trying to live out goals that were set upon them, or they took upon their own shoulders goals that belong to somebody else, whether it was somebody else's expectation of you or what you thought the other person might want from you. That's important. Make sure your goals are your own goals. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know sometimes, okay, maybe we don't know exactly what we want and we pattern ourselves after somebody else. That's one thing. Trying to find your own voice, or trying to find your own style, or trying to find your own MO based on what somebody else is doing. Many of us do that. We pattern ourselves after someone. But at some point, you've got to be able to deviate from that. You got to be willing to break away from that and now chart your own path. So then the question is, what is your goal? Not their goal. What is your goal? You hear me? I understand mom and dad or whoever raised you had a huge influence on you. I understand brother, sister, all of them, the environment had a huge impact on you, but now you are you. What is your goal for yourself? What do you expect from you? Well, I think that, mom and dad mama would say, daddy would say, cousin was, blah, blah, blah. What is your goal for you? What is your goal for you? Because that's all that's going to matter at the end of the day. Is that what's going to be on the epitaph when all of it's said and done? He or she tried to fulfill such and such as goal. Is that? What was your goal for yourself? You understand what I'm saying? That has to be the focus. That has to be the focus. That has to be real. It has to be implanted. Because you know why? If it comes from your heart, then it's pure and it's something that you can hold on to. You know that movie Inception? I loved that movie with Leo. Loved that movie. The big issue in that movie was this. The problem with Inception was, if you remember correctly, was trying to implant an idea in somebody else's head to make them think that it's their own idea. The issue is the brain knows when something foreign has entered it. So if I tell you, like they said in the movie, to think about pink elephants, what are you thinking about right now? You're thinking about pink elephants. But you know that you did not originate that idea. So it does not hold the merit or the strength or the gravity. It does not hold the value that your own ideas hold with you. You know your name is whatever your name. What's your name? You know that. That's a truth to you. That is an absolute truth to you. That is better than me trying to tell you your name is Hickory Bob. You might laugh about it. You might joke about it for a little while. You might even call yourself Hickory Bob as an AKA on your social media page. But you know, every time you see Hickory Bob, that is really not your name because it was not original. It did not come from you. That's what happens to a lot of people who go and try to live lives based on what somebody else wanted for them. It happens. It happens every day. Many people go to school and take years and years of college, and they're living out somebody else's desire or dream that was imposed on them from such an early age. They felt like they had to do it because it was their duty. And then what does it become? It becomes duty. Can I say that? Is that legal? That's what happens because it was not what you wanted. It's okay. Things happen. That's life. Now, here's the question. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to just go ahead and wallow in it, or are you going to change it? Let your goal be your own goal. I think I've talked about that enough. Does everybody get that? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you hear me? Okay, I think so. I think we got it. Let me see. Is anybody on? I'm missing a lot. Let me see who's joining us today. Who's out there? Who's out there? Are you out there? Papa, can you hear me? Papa, can you? Okay. Some kind of way I'm not getting connected. It's okay. I do apologize that I can't see who's joining and what you're saying, but I am going to respond at the end. Okay. We got a little bit of time left. Okay. So that one again is make sure your goals are your own goals, not somebody else's goals. That's cool. You got it. Now, here's the next part. Get rid of distractions. Okay, I understand some of y'all are saying, well, Al, before you even get started, there's too many things going on in my life right now. I got kids, I got job, I got bills, I got this, I got that. I got to be a part of that. I got too many things. It's hard for me to get just a moment alone by myself. I can't even get a moment alone when I go into the bathroom. I know some of you are saying that. That's not necessarily the distractions that you have to get rid of. Okay, you ready for this? I'm about to get deep on you for a second. What are the real distractions that you need to get rid of? Many times the distractions that you have to move to the side is your own self-talk. Those thoughts within yourself that tell you things that do not hold truth or bear weight in your life. Okay. If you are telling yourself or hearing yourself say things to you internally, like, oh man, I'm just not gonna, oh, it's not gonna, oh, this is just not, oh man, what in the world is, oh, I don't think I can. All of those types of things, those sentences that start with those lines, that is self-talk, negative self-talk specifically, and it cripples you. It cripples you. It cripples you. You have to get rid of those distractions. There's always going to be something happening in life. That's just the way life is. Okay, it's not a picture perfect type of existence. It seems that way. It could be on TV, but that's just not true. That's entertainment. We know that, right? So that means we have to acknowledge, okay, distractions are going to be there. What are the distractions that I can do something about? Because those are the ones that normally cause the bigger issue for us. It's not the distractions that we can't do anything about. There are many people that find ways to get things done. You even have yourself. You find ways to get things done, even with the distractions that you have in your life. Kids going berserk. Car won't work. Got to find a way to get to work. Got to work. Got to cook. Got to do this. Got to do that. Got to do laundry. Got to take care of this person. Got to go see about that person. There are plenty of distractions. Those usually are not going to be the distractions that stop you from getting done what you want to have done. What's going to stop you are the internal conversation, that negative talk. Those are the distractions. Those are the distractions. What distractions can you stop? Can you take a moment and set social media aside? Can you take a moment and turn the TV off? Can you take a moment and stop talking on the phone? Can you take a moment and not shove anything in your mouth for about maybe 5 or 10 minutes, food that is going to cause your body to go into a place where it cannot function the way you need? Those are things you can control. Those are distractions if you allow them to be. Those are the distractions that you need to be able to move out of your life. Okay, so if you can't do anything about having to go and pick up such and such person at this time because you have to, then don't count that as a distraction. It's the same way with assets and liabilities. Okay, what was it? Was it 2 weeks ago? I had Sister Shanada Harris here, and she was talking about credit. Let me tell you something about assets and liabilities. Many things we list as assets that are actually liabilities. You know that already, right? One thing that we consider to be an asset, we go out and we shell out money for it. We'll pay cash money for it as a vehicle, when actually it's a liability because it's not going to hold the value. An asset is something that's going to grow in value, right? So many people purchase a home because a home, in most cases, is going to increase in value. It's going to gain equity. It's going to increase. So that could be an asset. You can sell it for more than you purchased it for in most cases, as long as you've done some homework and some research. Don't get me talking about that. I am not a lawyer. I cannot give legal advice. Talk with your own people about that. But you understand the concept, okay? That's what I'm trying to get you to see. Assets versus liabilities. Whereas, where I'm talking about here, getting rid of all of these distractions and things. Some things you need to understand. Is it a distraction, or is it just something that I'm allowing to be a distraction, or I'm calling it a distraction? If it is a part of your normal life, then maybe don't call it a distraction. Just call it a part of life. Deal with the distractions that you can. You done? You understand? You get it? Okay, I'm moving on because I got to look at this time. All right, now, next one. Have a success policy. Okay? A success policy is really more so to deal with what kind of person you're going to be, what you actually call success. Everybody doesn't call success the same thing. One person may call success having more money. Another person may call success actually being able to enjoy waking up whenever you want to wake up without having an alarm clock. That might be success to someone. To another person, success might be being in a real, meaningful, appreciative, respectful, co-respectful relationship. That might be success for somebody. Maybe all the money in the world doesn't mean a thing to them. They just want to be in a good relationship. Okay? Success is different for different people. So what you have to do is figure out what success means to you. And sometimes it can't be based on anybody else. It has to be what you call success. So if you call success being able to, get up in the morning and not have to worry about money, then now you need to narrow that down a little bit more and say, okay, what does that mean specifically, not having to worry about money? Because you could not worry about money now. There was an old song that came out many, many, many years ago. It was in a, it was an opera, as a matter of fact, and it was called Porgy and Bess. How many people remember that? And one of the songs in there was, it said, I've got plenty of nothing and nothing's plenty for me. I got no car, I got no mule, I got no misery. You see? So money didn't matter to that person. Okay? They felt like if they had, actually the rest of the song says the folks with plenty of plenty, they got a lock on the door because they're trying to protect everything they got while they're going out to try to make some more. They're scared somebody's going to take everything they got. You see? So what is your picture of success? Here's the second part of it. Who are you going to become as a result of pursuing your goal? Is that goal only going to enhance you materialistically? Is that goal only going to enhance you economically? Is that that goal that you're pursuing only going to enhance you socially? Is it going to do anything on the inside of you? Is it going to help you to become a better person? Or is it just going to turn a microphone on or an amplifier to who you are on the inside? And maybe that's not the person that you want to be. Maybe that's not the person that you should be. And now you're going to just blare it out there for the whole world to see. No, make sure that your goal, whatever your goal or success is, does two things. What you consider to be success, make sure it does two things. One, make sure that it's your definition of success. Number two, make sure that it's something that's going to make you better as a person. It should make you better. It should make you better. So give me an example of that, Al. Okay, here's an example. Let's say that your goal is to become a prolific writer. Okay, a wonderful writer. You're gonna write books, you're gonna write novels, whatever it is. Your goal for writing the book, let's just say, was I wanted to write these books so that I could make $1 billion. And then when you get that $1 billion, what are you going to do? You're going to go out and party with it. You're going to go and buy all kind of expensive, extravagant lifestyle type of things, big mansions, mini cars, all kind of watches and diamonds and everything. Okay, and then after you get all of that, then what? Because there's somebody else that got more. So are you now going to be depressed because you don't have as much as the next person over here? There's always going to be somebody that has more. So did that make you a better person? Whereas you say, you know what, I'm going to take this and I got this goal to be a writer because I'm going to take this money and I'm going to set it up for my children and my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, should that be the case in your life. Or you say, I'm going to use the fame and the publicity I have to bring focus to a purpose. Something is going on, a cause, in other words. Maybe you want to use all of the fame and the notoriety that you have gained as a result of becoming a writer to bring awareness to, let's just say, finding a cure for a disease, or bringing awareness to understanding what autism effects are on people. Something like that. It's something that you use to become a better person. Maybe during the course of you trying to search out this goal, find it and become proficient in it, now you found that it's made you more calm inside because you've learned how to weather the storms of dealing with the process of getting to the point that you wanted to get to. That's a way that it makes you better. You get it? Does everybody get it? I really want, okay, have I finished these points? I have not finished, but here's what I want to do before I go back into the points, because I really want to see what some of you are saying. So I'm going to switch over to my Facebook view right now, if y'all don't mind, because I know some of y'all are leaving comments, and I know there's a lot of you on here that I haven't even had a chance to speak to yet. I see Nuna. Hey, I ain't gonna say your real name since you just said Nuna. I'm gonna leave it there, but I know who you are. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. And then I also see on here my sister Jacqueline Singleton Moore. It's so good to have you on. I'm telling you, I'm always happy when you join us because I know we here, right? We here. I feel like we here. So we good. God bless you. Thank you so much to the whole family, to my brother Mark, and to the twins. Love you all so much. And to everybody, love you so much. That's my family, y'all, and in South Carolina. By way of my wife. All right. And then I see the author extraordinaire on here, Janine May. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us. And I want to read some of what you're saying. Let's see. Oh, you're so sweet. God bless you, Sister Jacqueline. I can't see what everybody else is saying, so please forgive me for that. Now, let me get back into this because I only have a few minutes left, and I want to talk about how to get down into the actuals of making these goals really possible. As I mentioned before, the biggest thing is you want to make sure that it's something that's going to be attainable, right? Don't try to make something so huge starting out. Listen to me clearly. Try not to make something that's so huge starting out that there's no possible way that you can ever figure out how to get it done. Because then what happens is it just blocks you. It stops you. Now you look like a deer in the headlights. You're saying, oh my goodness, how could I ever accomplish that? And you're starting the self-negative talk already. And you're defeating yourself. You're wearing down your morale. You're bringing down your whole energetic strength, your zeal. And now what do you have left? I ain't never going to be able to do that. I don't even know why I'm trying. I don't even know why. See what happens? It's a vicious cycle. So do this. Start with something small. Start with something small. Are you willing to do an exercise with me? If so, say yes. Put it in the comment section. If you're willing to do a quick little exercise with me so I can show you what I'm talking about, just say yes in the comment section, and then I'll know that you are ready to get started. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to have to keep going because there's a 30-second delay, so I can't see what you're saying right now. Anyway, here we go. I want you to set a goal right now of what you're going to do as soon as we're done with this show today. Whatever that goal is, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything specific. You can say, you know what, after the show is over, after I finish watching Coaching by Al, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Don't shoot me, y'all. I know that you, okay, I'm crazy. You know that. Here's the issue. That's your goal. Let's just say that's your goal. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down 3 things, 3 action steps that it's going to take for you to get to the bathroom as soon as this program is over. What is it going to take for you to accomplish that goal? Al, that sounds so elementary, and I don't know why you're asking me to do that. I understand that's how you feel, but I'm asking you, please just indulge me for just a moment, bear with me, and do this, okay? Your goal is, I'm going to get to the bathroom and to use the bathroom when the program is over. What 3 steps are you going to write down to ensure that that happens? If you look at it ahead of time right now, what do you need to do in 3 steps to try to get that accomplished? Somebody's going to say, all right. All right, I see. Y'all joining now. Okay, what do you need to do to get that accomplished? Somebody's going to say, well, first I need to get off the phone, right? Cool. Then you may say I need to get up off the couch or off the bed or whatever I'm sitting on or wherever I'm at. I need to actually walk to the bathroom. I need to get in the bathroom, close the door. I need to let's just skip on from there. But look at that. That's already 5 items. Those are 5, let's use this word, action steps. Somebody say action steps. There are 5 action steps right there. And I only asked for 3. But I'm sure as you're thinking about it right now, you could think of a whole lot more that you would need to do as you start breaking it down piece by piece by piece. And you may say, well, you know, that's not a big deal. I don't even think about doing that. Why do I need action steps to go to the bathroom? The fact is that that's how all goals work. The fact that you are used to going to the bathroom, you already know the action steps, you learned them a long time ago, and you can carry them out seamlessly now. I mean, you don't even have to think about it. You just do it. That's the way you get started with writing goals down. There was a time where you didn't know how to go to the bathroom by yourself. Believe it or not. You learned the process. You learned the process. You learned what you had to do first. You learned what you had to do finish. And then the project, the goal was complete. Okay, that's not a good one, Al. Let's try something else. Let's say right now, while you're watching, you say to yourself, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to go to church. That sounds like a pretty nice goal. Think about, in 3 action steps, what do you need to do to ensure that that goal is accomplished from beginning to end? Give me 3 action steps. What do you need to do? Go. You need music? Boo, 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 boo. Is that copywritten? Can I get in trouble for using that music? I don't want to do that. Okay, let's get some other music. What's some other good music we can use? All right, you ready? Did you write down your goal? Thank you so much for give him a hand. He plays so lovely, don't you agree? Yeah. What are the goals for you getting to church? You get it? What are the goals? If you have to choose goals, 3 goals, or 3 action steps rather, what are your 3 action steps between now and tomorrow for you to fulfill that goal? I already know you've thought of more than 3. But it doesn't seem like a big issue because you're used to doing it. You already know what to do. Why? Because you learned it. You practiced it. You've done it enough to where you don't think about the action steps involved. You just carry them out. But that's the same way with coming up with a new goal. Maybe you're saying, well, that's a goal that I've done time and time and time again. But here's a new goal. I've never done it before. What action steps do I take? Be okay with learning the action steps. Sometimes you don't know what you need to know until you find out that you need to know it. It happens, but don't be afraid of going through the process. Somebody else is saying, okay, Al, I don't have all that time to try to go through the process of learning again. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do. If you set a goal right now, start thinking about the action steps to get to it. What's an action step or what's a goal that you want to accomplish? Now that you've set that goal and you've done everything that we talked about, you made sure it was your own goal, you made sure it was attainable, you made sure that you wrote it down, then you're going to go and figure out what steps will get you there. What is the end result? Do you know that's how most movies are written? They write the end scene or they shoot the end scene first, and then they go back to the beginning. You set the end, you set where you want to finish up, and now you go back and you figure out all the steps it's going to take to get you there. That's how most movies are written. That's what you need to do for your life. It's your story, it's your movie, it's your book. How are you going to accomplish it? Go back, say, okay, I'm going to church tomorrow. First thing I need to do is figure out how I'm going to get there. How are you going to get there? I'm going to drive. Okay, which church am I going to? I know which church I'm going to. That's part 2. Then what am I going to wear? You start planning what you're going to wear. Then you got to figure out what time you're going to leave so that you can get there in time just in case there's traffic. What are you going to eat in the morning if you need to eat something? What are you going to do? Say, for instance, if you have children, do they have children's church? What am I going to do with my babies? All that kind of stuff. You got to figure that. What do I need to take with me? Do I need to take a notebook? Yes, you should be taking a notebook, by the way. Do I need to take a Bible? Yes, you should be taking a Bible, by the way. All of these action steps, when you start to think about it, is what's going to go inside of this goal. And then as you complete each action step, it's being checked off the list. Either it's mental or if you have it written down. What I'm saying is, if you're creating new goals for anything and you don't know what to do, think about it, be very clear on what you want to accomplish, go back and start writing down action steps. At least 3. At least 3. Here's the reason why it's so vital. How much time do I have, Prophet Blaine? Okay. Here's the issue. Many times our goal is big, and that's okay if it is big, or it maybe is far out ahead of us. Maybe it's not even close to this year. That's cool. No biggie. But what happens is we let it become so large that it becomes or it seems like it's unattainable, when in fact it most likely is if you break it down into smaller pieces. How do you eat an elephant? Audience, 1 bite at a time. That's the goal. Look at it from a more macro point of view or a piece by piece point of view, other than trying to figure out how to devour the whole elephant. Look at your goal from piece by piece by piece by piece by piece. If I look at it as, I got to go to church tomorrow. Oh boy. If I look at it and say, okay, do I know where I want to go? Yeah, I know where I want to go. God's Holy Temple Church, shameless plug, at the 2 p.m. service at 25,000 North Chrysler Drive. That's at least I know where I want to go. Second, what time do I need to be there? 2 p.m. Actually 1:45, so you won't be late. Then, well, what am I going to wear? You see, if you look at it from just a piece by piece, it's not so big. You've dressed yourself before. You've picked out clothes before. That's not a big task, right? That's not so bad. That's not so hard. Unless you're just trying to be super fashionable, which is not necessarily the place to do that at. Just be dressed, be clothed, cover yourself properly, respectfully, and come on out and be blessed. That's what you need to do for church. Then, what else have you done before? You've picked a place to go before. That's not an impossible task, right? You have searched directions before. That's not so big. You can do that. You can figure, how do I get there if I don't have a vehicle? You figured out how to get other places before. That's not such a bad challenge. You see, if you look at it from a piece by piece by piece by piece perspective, it kind of makes it smaller. It makes it more manageable. in your mind. It makes it more manageable, tangibly, and now you've got something that you can actually wrap your mind around. You can actually touch it. It's attainable. It's still just as big as it was yesterday, but now as you're breaking it down piece by piece, you're seeing now, okay, this is something I can do. Same thing with the runner we talked about in the beginning, running that marathon. What do you need to do? Marathon, oh my God, that's huge. What do I need to do first? First, I need to figure out when is the marathon that I want to run. Second, I need to get a trainer. Third, maybe I need to get some jogging shoes, at least if I haven't. Fourth, I need to schedule how much time I'm going to dedicate to being able to train for it. 5, I've got to figure out an eating plan. 6, you see where I'm going with this? Instead of saying, oh my gosh, I got to run 26 miles. Now you're saying, hey, I need to take care of this part. And then I need to take care of this part. And now I can take care of that part. I can take care of that part. That is goal setting. Don't let it scare you. Don't let setting a goal or setting something up that you have to do scare you. Some of you are saying, well, I really would love to be able to get this business started. Okay, that sounds like a huge undertaking. But if you start off, well, what's the business that I want to do? Okay, I can handle that. Then what else do I need to do? I need to think of a name for the business, perhaps. Maybe you can get a group of friends together, say, hey, let's throw some names together, see what we get. Then, next part, what can I do? I can go down and get a DBA at the county and do a business, doing business as, DBA, doing business as, get a name registered for my business. What can I do next? Now I can start trying to find out, what I need to do to get my inventory, if it requires inventory, or if it's a service you offer, how do I let people know the service that I'm offering? The more you break it up into little bitty pieces, action items, as we call them, under your goal. So you have your goal, and then you have sub items, which are called action steps. Then you start to see this huge monstrosity of a project come down into a bearable to-do list, task. And that's how you set your goals. You see? Did that do anything for anybody? I just want to know if that helped you at all, if you feel like that's something that you can work with, and then you can actually get going on something as opposed to letting this big ticket item stifle you. Now we're getting somewhere. That's what I'm talking about. I hope you have enjoyed yourself today. Listen, I'm asking you, you who are watching, right? I'm asking you to do something, sow a seed into today's broadcast. You can do that by downloading, if you don't have it already, the Cash App. The handle for it to come to me is $Coaching by Al, LLC. Again, that's $Coaching by Al, LLC. And I'm asking you to sow a gift. Whatever denomination that is, whatever amount that is, that's between you and God. But I'm asking you to sow a seed. When you sow into information that has been presented to you, prepared for you, spilled over for you, worked over for you, the ground has been tilled. Now you have the opportunity to take the seed and plant it. The best thing to do is to sow so that you can fulfill the process, fulfill the cycle, and receive a harvest. Okay, that's what I'm asking you to do today. Again, get your Cash App out, Coaching by Al, LLC, and go ahead and sow something just to say, hey, I received it. Now I'm communicating back to you as you have communicated into my life. I'm giving something back that completes the cycle. And that gives you an opportunity to really take hold of it. It means a whole lot more when you do it that way. Okay. So I'm thanking you for that. I also want to thank my sponsor today, which is holycloud.us. Go to holycloud.us, your one-stop shop for websites, for domains, for SSL certificates, for unlimited emails, unlimited business emails. They take care of all of it. holycloud.us. That's who handles the website for our church. That's who handles our emails for my business, Coaching by Al. They are incredible. They are great. Very easy to work with. The pricing is amazingly reasonable. I mean, it's incredible how reasonable this pricing is. It's going to be better than many other well-known websites that you go to. Sometimes it's just a whole lot of fluff over there. Okay, they get down to the nitty-gritty of what you need, and they give you prices that you cannot beat. Holycloud.us. If you need a domain for your own business, maybe you just want to have a domain for your own personal name, and you call that your brand, go to holycloud.us. Okay, do that for me. I would greatly appreciate it. I thank you so much. I hope that you have enjoyed something that you've learned today, or maybe just remembered today. Maybe it was just a refresher for you. Either way, keep watching, keep sharing. Don't forget to share it. Don't forget to like it. And don't forget to continually join us each week right here at 12 noon Eastern time. God bless you. I love you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Let's go. Woo!
You are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station. Check out our website at www.worshipradio.faith. Or follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Worship Radio INT. This is the future.